It's just that I used last year. It's so bad. It's
Okay, it says in your order of service that we're playing The Scientist, but we're actually playing Heart and Soul by Frank Lozier and Hoagie Carmichael.
Things happen.
Yeah. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Good morning and welcome to Emerson Unitarian Universalist Congregation and our annual senior youth service today. My name is Audrey Pickett-Tice and I am your worship assistant for today. I'm also the mom of a senior youth. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. As Unitarian Universalists, we are a people of diverse beliefs, but we share a common faith, that each person is worthy of love, that what we do in this world matters, and that we are connected to one another and to the earth. Whoever you are, wherever you are in your journey, you are welcome here. We now pause to light our chalice. As a symbol of our shared Unitarian Universalist faith, thank you, Evan Rogers, for lighting our chalice today. Our chalice lighting words are from Summer Albayati. Lighting this chalice may feel difficult today. This symbol of justice, known to be a light of hope for the marginalized, a message of sanctuary for the oppressed, a flame that feels lost or diminished somehow. How do we rekindle this fire of compassion? How do we rekindle this fire of mercy? A famous verse within the Quran tells us that with hardship comes ease, with hardship comes ease. We welcome the ease. O God of justice, we welcome the ease. O Spirit of love, we welcome the ease and rekindle this flame. From our tears, our quiet suffering, from our collective prayers for those who cry for freedom, we welcome the ease and rekindle this flame on behalf of those who feel abandoned and betrayed. We welcome the ease and rekindle this flame for all the children who ask, why can we not live in peace as other children do? May lighting this chalice today, no matter how difficult it may feel, help us rekindle compassion and mercy within the deep crevices of our heart, so that we can once again bring justice and hope to a world struggling to find its humanity, struggling to find its soul. All right, let's greet and welcome each other to this new day. Those in the sanctuary, feel free to move around and offer greetings. And for those online, please use the chat to introduce yourselves.
Good morning. I am Mars or Divya Grace Pennington. I do not pretend to understand the moral universe. The arc is a long one. My eye reaches but little ways. I cannot calculate the curve and complete the figure by experience of sight. I can divine it by conscience, but from what I see, I am sure it bends towards justice. This is a quote by Thomas Parker in his Service of Justice and the Conscience from 1853. Thomas Parker was a Unitarian minister. He also was an abolitionist. This quote was also used by Martin Luther King Jr., Barack Obama, and other civil rights leaders. From our UU value of justice, we work to be diverse, multicultural, beloved communities where we all thrive. We covenant to dismantle racism and all other forms of systemic oppression. We support the use of inclusive, democratic process to make decisions. And now some words to take with you. To light the darkness and begin again. There is a glow far off in the distance, a light to which no path leads. We know that each time we help another or join with them to heal the world, each time we stand up for justice and what is right, each time we work and hope and love against all odds, a spark is created that adds to the intensity of that light. We join with others who see and turn toward the glow. As we travel toward that beacon, the underbush of indifference is flattened and a path is created. More are led to join us, and obstacles are kicked away, and a road is formed. Please rise and embody our voice as we join together in song with hymn number 169, We Shall Overcome.
we might have had a little oversight here. Let me go back. So it wasn't printed here, but I think we need to do our congregational affirmation, if you'll join with me. And that is, we need not think alike to love alike. Awesome, thank you. All righty, moving along, joys and sorrows. We now pause to reflect on matters of the heart. And thank you, Daniela, for placing our stones today. For this morning ritual, we have water and we have river stones. The stones are smooth and the stones have weight. They're indicative of both life's pleasures and times of ease, as well as life's burdens and times of heaviness. The water receives these stones with ease and calmness. Each week, you are invited to write a joy, sorrow, or concern in this book, or email it to pastoralcare@emersonuu.org to be read. And if you're online, we invite you to recreate this at home. You can place a stone in a bowl of water to honor what is in your heart. All right, we begin by placing 3 stones. 1, in honor of the Cherokee and Muskogee nations of indigenous people who lived here before us. 2, for the wrongly enslaved here who labored on this land. And the 3rd, for all those hurting in current conflicts and wars that rage across our globe. All right, within our community, C. Fambro shares a great weekend of racing was had, brought home a couple of medals to add to the collection, also celebrated with the team of skaters I brought with me. Yeah. From Richard Croker, Terry and I celebrated our 58th wedding anniversary last week. And from Carol Shear, thanks to everyone who made yesterday so special at the Justice Jam, especially to our visiting congregations and security from Athens and Ellijay and Roswell. There are those joys and sorrows that are perhaps you are not ready to share. So let's put in one more stone for those that are in our hearts. And in thankful awareness, let's say the Buddhist prayer of loving kindness. Please read the words with me. May we all be filled with loving kindness. May we all be free from harm and suffering. May we all be well in body, heart, and mind. May we all be at peace. Blessed be. At the offering that we take each Sunday isn't just a stale habit, it's an opportunity to recommit to this place and to this people. Our offering is an affirmation, a yes. When we give, we say yes to something we value. With our gifts freely given, may we say yes to the values of our Unitarian Universalist faith. During April, we are supporting the North Metro Atlanta chapter of the Georgia Native Plant Society. They're a nonprofit dedicated to raising public awareness and educating communities about the importance of native plants, work that is more critical now than ever. The North Metro Atlanta chapter strives to encourage and empower Georgia's citizens to take meaningful action and to support and conserve native plant species. Their top priority is educating the public on the vital role native plants play as the foundation of a healthy, thriving food web. For those in the sanctuary, as the basket is passed, please feel free to offer a donation or see in your order of service for other ways to give. For those online, go to emersonuu.org, select the Giving tab to donate. And for those interested, there are also lollipops in the basket too. The morning offering will now be given and received with gratitude. Thank you.
May we get the young and the young at heart
Come join us.
to
for
come join us for Story of All Ages.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Zoe's coming around, and she is going to let you pick a bird. And so I need you to hold that bird because you are going to do something with it. And the rest of the congregation, you get to use just your hand. So, all right, so be prepared. This is an interactive story.
So the birds you just got, I made these. These are origami paper cranes. And in this book, there's a lot of birds. So what you're going to do, we're going to ask you some questions at certain points. And if it's something we're talking about that you've done before or something that you relate to, you're going to hold up your bird. And then there's one part at the end, and I'll hold up my bird so you'll know when to do it. But you're all going to hold up your birds together and make bird noises. No crazy ones, though, please. And audience, you can do that, too. All right.
Please participate.
Oh, yeah, and if you don't have a bird, you're just going to raise your hand if it's something you relate to. All right, so without further ado, Say Something by
Peter H. Reynolds. The world needs your voice.
Mine?
Yes, yours. Go ahead. It doesn't need to be perfect as long as it's from your heart. You don't have to be loud. Powerful words can be a whisper. You can say something in so many ways, with words, actions, with creativity. If you see someone lonely, say something by just being there for them.
Have you ever been there for someone who is sad?
If you see an empty canvas, say something with your brush.
Have you ever created something beautiful? Nice bird noises.
If you see an empty lot, say something by planting a seed and watching it bloom.
Has anyone here ever gardened? I know I have.
If you see someone being hurt, say something. Huh? Oh, no, yeah. If you see someone being hurt, say something by being brave. Hey, stop.
Have you ever stood up to a bully?
If you see something beautiful, say something with a poem. Painted meadows, splashed with rainbows.
Has anyone here ever expressed themselves with a poem? I think we're on the Brilliant Idea page. It's purple? Yeah. That one. Yeah, there we go. All right.
If you have a brilliant idea, say something with confidence. Eureka!
All right, who here has expressed an idea with confidence before? I know probably lots of us.
If you want to show the world who you are, say something with style. Ta-da!
Who here is saying something with style? Oh, gonna wait a minute so the slides can catch up. I think it's. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
If you are angry, say something to help people understand. You made me feel invisible, and that really hurt. I'm sorry.
Have you ever expressed your feelings to someone?
If you see an injustice, say something peacefully. Inspire others to do the same. No more hurting people. Peace. Peace. Make more light.
Who here has inspired someone else with your voice?
Sometimes you'll say something and no one will be listening. But keep saying it. What's in your heart, but keep saying what's in your heart, and you will find someone who listens. Keep saying it, and you may be surprised to find the whole world listening. If you are grateful for being alive, quietly say something to the stars, to the universe.
Have you ever been grateful?
Some people find it easier to say something than others. I hope, I believe. Join us, I wish. Together we can. I'm ready to change the world, I imagine. But everyone has something to say. So when you're ready, say something.
By Peter H. Reynolds, your voice can inspire, heal, and transform. Your voice can change the world. Are you ready to say something? Right. Oh, and you guys can keep your birds.
Okay, there we are. There we are. All right, so now it's time for our song of dedication. Anyone who is 7 and younger can meet me at the back after the song, and the words are on the back of your order of service. So if you'll rise and sing with us, that'd be great.
My name is Isabel Tice. I am a sophomore at Pope High School, and today I will be speaking about the illusion of progress. When we look back on the past, whether it is just a few decades or multiple centuries, we can see how much our world has changed. Electric cars have replaced horses, cell phones have replaced passing notes in class, 2-ply toilet paper has replaced the Sears catalog, and Amazon has replaced the Sears catalog. Yet the same struggles seem to stick around. Conflicts, discrimination, and disconnection have always found a place within our society. So that raises the question, is humanity actually improving over time, or is it an illusion? Undeniable progress can be seen in history and all around us. Poverty rates have significantly been declining over recent decades. Many personal rights have been fought for and won as a result of movements like those for the 19th Amendment, American Civil Rights, and LGBTQ rights. This progress is real, but it is not like everybody decided to shed all their problems with each other and live in harmony because of it. Wars still rage across the world, with almost 100 active armed conflicts occurring at this very moment. Inequalities and hate have always found a place within our society. Similarly, we have experienced tremendous advancements in technology over the centuries. Chemistry breakthroughs have developed fertilizers to feed billions. Atomic science has let us split the atom to generate power. The internet connects people across oceans, bringing our families together and random people's cute pets right to our fingertips. However, advancements in these tools does not mean humanity has advanced in values. That same chemistry has produced chemical weapons, atomic science has led to the threat of nuclear war, and the internet can lead to serious mental health issues and isolation. These tools are just amplifiers of human intention, whether they are used for justice or for harm. Our power has outpaced our wisdom. This can be explained by how our capacity for empathy generally remains stagnant through generations despite our increasingly sophisticated ideas. Thousands of years ago, humans evolved to value survival more than compassion. Quick aggression and loyalty to one's group were advantages to surviving in the wild. Being scared of the outsiders in the next village over were advantages to help you make it to age 25. These tendencies are translated into today's society as we see hatred towards groups that are labeled as different. Over time, humans will not deviate from these instincts unless they do work within themselves to make progress. Our biology modifies Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s popular belief that the moral arc is long and bends toward justice. This phrase can foster a misconception of the inevitability of progress, of moral progress. Thinking in these terms can lead to widespread complacency and no progress on the issues at hand. MLK was not wrong, though. His ideas were adapted by former President Barack Obama, who rephrased it as, the arc of the moral universe may bend towards justice, but it doesn't bend on its own. People need to actively push it to see change. But what does moral progress look like? It can take shape in many forms. The steps can include recognizing the rights of those once excluded, viewing history to expose injustices rather than ignoring them, and standing up when it is easier to be silent. These steps have been taken by activists, but more support is needed to exemplify the change. Ultimately, to answer the initial question, is humanity actually improving? Is no, not automatically. Not if we act as passive observers of history. Not if we see progress as just improvements in speed, wealth, or technology. But we can join together to bring real change to collectively bend the arc. It will not move consistently, but every act of compassion, every demand for justice, and every moment of simple understanding between strangers all matter. Let our society's generations work together to bend that arc. Let our community at Emerson bend that arc. Thank you.
Hello. I'm Michael Fambro. I'm the only senior in senior youth this year, so I figured I had to say something. We, meaning everyone in this room and outside of it, are tools of social justice, or have tools, however you want to look at it. Tools like our voice to speak about issues, especially when no one else can. Our actions to reach the furthest corners of the world. Our bodies to protest for what we think is right. Some people might get clouded or carried away from the overarching goal and use methods like violence. And while there's a time and place for almost everything, violence is not a part of that everything. Like all tools, some people use the tools we are given for actions that are not progressive, sometimes even regressive towards social justice. For example, while I'm not going to get to preach politics to you all, the people in our government currently are aggressive towards social justice. It is our job as people who stand for what we think is right to guide these people to not be regressive towards the world. So take heed in what actions you take. You, your actions, your voice have more power towards people than you might think. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Zoe Johnson. I am in 8th grade at Dodgen Middle School. I run 3 eco clubs, and I love to make art. My first and favorite of my eco clubs was Climate Heroes, an online club by kids for kids devoted to helping the earth. I remember when I first had the idea for Climate Heroes. I was 8 years old. Me, my mom, my little brother were taking a walk around our neighborhood, and I found a pair of broken glasses on a storm drain. I remember thinking, this isn't right. Who would just leave this here? Looking back on it now, I think something in me just clicked, and I knew what I wanted to do. Mommy, I asked, what if I started a club for kids on Zoom where we learned how to help the earth? Today, Climate Heroes has members all over the country. We meet weekly to discuss the things that matter to us. My experiences running and participating in this club have sparked what I think will be a lifelong interest in environmentalism. This is my social justice. Once in a while, my mom will host a women's gathering. She loves to bring together all the friends that she can and do something together. Last time, it was in a park. Everyone bought food and a gift for someone they didn't know. We had a potluck lunch and did a gift swap. My mom has a way of bringing people together. She loves helping people connect and grow. This is her making the world a better place. But it doesn't have to be big, involved, or even social. Like my dad, who, every time we're on a walk in the neighborhood, park, or beach, always takes care to pick up trash and leave the area better than he found it. Or my little brother, who, after seeing a fellow classmate dump huge amounts of paper into the garbage, fished them out just so he could recycle them. Or my friend Lizzie, who, anytime I tell her someone kicked my rolling backpack, cheers me up by vowing fiercely to kick the next person who messes with her friend. So now we get down to the real question here, which is, how do we make the world a better place when times are so hard? To help us with this, we are going to take a look at the social justice ecosystem. This is the idea that to make the world a better place, we each need to use our individual skills and roles in the community to work together to make a better world. Oh, yay, thank you, yay. All right. So there are a lot of different roles on here, so I'm going to read out a few of them and give some definitions for the ones that are a little more like, what could that be? All right, guides who teach, counsel, and advise, storytellers, healers, disruptors, taking uncomfortable and risky actions to shake up the status quo, caregivers, visionaries, builders, frontline responders addressing community crises by assembling and organizing resources, experimenters, weavers, seeing through the lines of connectivity, and all of these have a part in the social justice movement. So, who are you? on my notes. There are stories all over this room. Stories of beauty and resilience, stories of inclusion and joy, and yes, stories of social justice, stories of making the world a better place. And they don't have to be complicated. They don't even have to be long. They could be as simple as that one day you baked cookies for a friend who had just lost a loved one. Stories of protesting the federal government's neglect of national parks every Wednesday at Kennesaw Mountain, like my grandma. Stories of planting native milkweed for your monarch butterflies. Stories of last week, I made a call to our senator asking him to oppose funding to ICE. Stories of the other day someone was rude to my friend, so I told her to stop. Or stories of smiling at a stranger you passed on the street just because you felt like it. Just because it's not big doesn't mean it's not real, important, or beautiful. Part of social justice is seeing everyone and everything as equally deserving of all the good things. And when we start to do this, people feel seen, and other people also feel moved to see others. They go out into the world sharing gifts to promote kindness, justice, and equality. When we look out for each other and our earth, we help create an atmosphere where everyone feels seen and loved. Thank you.
Hello. My name is Tamsin Scow, and I am a sophomore at Kell High School, and I'm going to speak. Okay. People only ever do what they want. If that's the case, we cannot bend the unwilling towards our idea of justice. However, what if we can bend them to want what we want? The only way to create real change is through a large, unified front. This means growing and spreading our ideas effectively. How does one do that? An example from my own life is teaching 5-year-olds how to swim in the deep end of the pool. They not only have to be confident in their own abilities, but mine to keep them safe. It's daunting. How do I get them to jump in when, 1, it's scary, 2, they aren't entirely sure if they trust me, and 3, they don't know how to swim? I like to make it into a game. Typically, cannonballs do the trick. If they're having fun, they forget that I'm not actually standing in the 12-foot deep water to catch them, but rather treading and smiling. If only cannonballs were the solution to every divide in what is right and wrong. Understand that just telling someone to trust you and jump isn't enough. People do not substitute your judgment for theirs simply because you told them to. It's commonly said that actions speak louder than words. This past marching band season, I was the section leader of the front ensemble, percussionists who play mallet instruments rather than drums. I'm only a sophomore, and my section consisted of people who were older, younger, and the exact same age as me. Our only real division was that I had a title and they didn't. Titles don't get you far when it comes to power and influence. The way I gained the respect of those in my section was by being reasonable, serving, and nice. Of these, serving is the most important. I checked in on them at games, I set up instruments, I found the mallets, I plugged in boards, and cleaned up. The point is not to toot my own horn. The point is that doing things for others makes them want to do things for you. My peers were less offended when directed by me if they saw that I put effort into them first, and without expecting anything in return. If you want someone to hear you out, you must hear them out too. If we want people to bend towards our justice, we must acknowledge their versions of justice too. Now, it's all well and good to say that, or even know it to be true. The hard part is applying it, and it is even harder applying it fairly. I don't like energy drinks. My best friend does. When talking to her about it, I made an effort to hear her out. Would I belittle her reasoning? No, of course not. She's my best friend. One could argue that the reason she drinks them less now is because of that, but I processed what she said and then listed my own concerns. Humans are designed, subconsciously, to be more willing to hear those who hear them too. I took time to listen to her side because I value her viewpoint. Why would you think that someone whose opinion you don't value or care for would ever value yours? The secret to persuasion is not only feeling for your own side. That's easy. It's also having compassion for others' opinions, even if you don't agree with them. Everyone is the protagonist in their own story. You must work with that notion to create change rather than against it. Thank you. And now we're going to rise and sing hymn number 1064, Blue Boat Home, the Blue Hymnal. Thank you.
Well, I will add my good morning to you. Good morning. And then let me get to where I need to be here in the book. All right. So, as we come to the close of this service, I just want to do a couple of things. First, can I have the teachers who lead this group every Sunday please stand and rise and be acknowledged? Alex, Angelica, Richard, and Noel. I can promise you, without these four amazing humans, these kids would not be where they are today. So well done. But then I want to speak to the youth. What you shared today, it matters. Not just because it was thoughtful, well done, though it absolutely was, but because it came from a place of your heart, a place of courage, and a place of honesty. You didn't just stand up here and speak. You showed us how you are already engaging in a world, asking hard questions and choosing to care. I want you to know how deeply I respect you. You are growing up in a world that is ugly, it's complicated, it's messy, it's fast-moving, it's all those things, and yet here you are. You're paying attention. You're here, you're making your voice heard, and you're stepping into conversations about justice and equity. That is not easy work, as all of us in this congregation can tell you. It takes strength, it takes awareness, and it takes willingness to see both beauty and brokenness. And you did an incredible job today. I am so proud of you, not just for what you did this morning, but for who you are becoming, because you are already bending that arc in a way that you show up for each other and speak to each other. As they told you, the arc of social justice doesn't move on its own. It moves because people like you, like all of us, choose to care, to act, and to keep going even when it is hard. So as we leave this space today, may we all carry a little bit of what our youth shared with us today. Take the courage to speak, the compassion to listen, and the commitment to keep bending that arc together. Again, guys, thank you for sharing your voices with us today, and thank you for showing us what hope looks like.
And one more person we absolutely need to recognize for this fabulous service we had today, our Director of Family Ministry, Michael Lukens. We are so lucky to have him. This was wonderful, and I was so honored to be a part of this amazing service that we do once every year. So thank you all for joining us today. We're going to go ahead and distinguish our chalice, I think we're. Oh, should we do the announcements first? All right. I've got our announcements listed after our chalice extinguishing, so I'll get them both. We got it all here, I think. Tell me if I'm missing something. Evan, come on up. Evan will extinguish our chalice today with us. Thank you for doing both the lighting and extinguishing today, Evan. All right. As our chalice is extinguished this morning, we extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world until we are together again. Thank you, Evan. All right, now I'll get to those announcements, and I hope I've got them all here. Let me know if there's something else that I miss. Just a huge thank you to our AV team up here that often doesn't get recognized for making this happen. This is so impressive with the senior youth, the service every year. So thank you for being part of that and making that happen, AV team. And we've got fellowship time after this. So please join us for fellowship time after down this hall. And behind us, join us for refreshments. And then we're going to have the sermon reflections in this sanctuary during our second hour, and our senior youth will be there to facilitate that discussion. So please consider joining for that. And for youth and adults, instead of class today for our second hour, we are going to be meeting at the picnic tables, which are outside and on the side of the parking lot here for our fellowship time for the Eco Ball game. So make sure you don't miss that. Parents, you're welcome to join us as well as your child, and I'm told there will be prizes. So that sounds like fun. Okay, am I good on announcements? I think I'm good on announcements there. All right, very well. As our service ends, go now in peace and take peace wherever you go.